It's a beautiful sunny Sunday here in Da Nang, and instead of hanging out at the beach, let's go on a little bike ride through this beautiful city. Before searching for a rental bike, I went to one of my favourite cafes in town called Phinku. It's on a quiet leafy street in Sontra and serves up some great local coffee. Next up, it's time to find a bike. I walked from Sontra down to Mayan, passing those famous sandy beaches, palm trees leaning in the breeze, the sun is out and it's the perfect day for a bike adventure. Just Bikes came through and they set me up with this beautiful old school bike. It cost 90,000 VND for 24 hours. There's a whole other side of the city that's just as awesome, waiting to be explored. Da Nang has actively been renovating the Riverside area. This is the Nguyen Van Troy Bridge. It's one of the oldest bridges over the Han River. It's now pedestrian only, and it's basically a shortcut into the Riverside walking zones. So at night, this whole strip turns into a great atmosphere with kiosks along the eastern side. Here you can see the famous Dragon Bridge over the Han River. There's another bridge just over there that's beautiful. Da Nang is a very bicycle-friendly city. From the esplanade by the beach, all along the river you've got wide pathways. Here this is a totally pedestrianized or bicycleized, if that's even a term, bridge that you can cycle on. Drivers, they don't have a problem with cyclists. They're not trying to run you down or beep at you. It feels like they're very aware and they drive quite carefully around you. So I feel safe on the roads here as well. I made a quick pit stop at this public loo and I wanted to show you because I think you can tell a lot about a city from its public loos. Nice, clean, modern. Not what I was expecting, but it just shows you how Da Nang is modernizing. There's lots of really modern, beautiful buildings this side of the town, very wide paths. And it's just a beautiful spot to take in some of the city that's not the classic beach side. A quick lap, some river views, and we're back on the bike. By now, I'd probably worked up an appetite, so I headed for one of Da Nang's most famous Ban Siao and Nem Lui spots. I cycled through quiet side streets and tiny alleys, salivating at the thought. No! But luckily for me, in classic Vietnam style, their neighbour right next door is also selling some Ban Siao. Prices are definitely up for the holidays, but I don't blame them. This Ban Siao was really good. I got some Nem Nui. It's crisp, hot, exactly what I needed, and I'm not even mad at paying a little extra during Tet. If you've never had Ban Siao or Nem Lui before, here's the move. You basically take a piece of rice paper, add some herbs, lettuce as a base, add some of the cucumber, top with some papaya, and either take a piece of the crispy pancake or the meat stick and load it into the rice paper, roll it up, and then dunk it in this meaty, yummy dipping sauce. It's messy, it's hands-on, but this is completely worth it. It's a must try while you're in Vietnam. After lunch, I took a short ride to Cafe Noi. This is another one of my favorite spots in Da Nang for coffee. It's so peaceful here. There's leafy streets, tons of plants, and it's a curated mix of retro antiques inside that just feels super stylish. The perfect place to people watch, order a coffee, sit and chill. I'm just here at Cafe Noi in Da Nang, and this is a salt coffee. This is a lightly salted cream, like a foamy cream on the top, kind of like a salted caramel, and then underneath you have some condensed milk and the coffee in the middle, and when you mix it up, it tastes just like a delicious salted caramel coffee drink. Cheers. Bye. After coffee, I skipped next door to Nisha, which is a second-hand vintage shop just next door to Noi. You can have a little dig in here. It's a very cute shop and the owners are always there to help if you have any questions or anything. I just really like stopping by and checking it out when I'm in the area. Next up, I headed to make a little mission to one of the city parks in the centre of Da Nang. The It has a lovely lake and it's a really nice spot to chill. The centre feels totally chaotic compared to the coastline where I was earlier. I finally made it, only to find the park was closed for renovations. This is a massive bummer, mostly because getting here actually was cycling through the busiest part of the trip. There was one main road through the middle that was packed with cars, motorbikes, everything. It was the only moment all day where I felt like, okay, this is a little bit tricky. But the good news, Liz, it didn't last long. 10 minutes later, I was on the quieter streets, heading to the lesser-known beach side.
So we're just on the beach at the other side of town. It's way less touristy. As you can see, there's not many high-rises, and you have some nice views of the mountain too. It's a nice pit stop on the way.
After a short break at 43 Amazing, that's the name of the restaurant by the way, we crossed over the Han River via the Tan Phuc Bridge. This is a massive suspension bridge near the bay, and from here I looped home towards Sontra. It's the perfect spot to be cycling on as it's golden hour. On the left side you've got beautiful views of the bay, and on the right side you've got these lovely views of the city as well.
This is a beautiful bridge. You run on here during the Da Nang Marathon, the sunrise. It's just as beautiful now though. And we're heading to the other side, which is the more popular beach area. And there's a little bit of jungle on the edge of town, so let's hit it. After we finished the bridge, we came across this kind of boatyard, and there's beautiful blue-coloured fishing boats of Da Nang all along the edge, and it's really pretty. Let's see what's up next.
To Quang Port is one of the biggest fishing ports in central Vietnam. If you're down here super early before sunrise, it's totally chaotic. Boats are pulling in, fish is getting sorted, and everything feels like it's moving all at once. Now we're on the final stretch home, cycling through the edge of town to the Sontra Beach area. Here's what I've been thinking about today. The people who seem to have the most fun are the ones who actually go out and look for it. Leave the laptop at home, put your phone on airplane mode, head out with no plan, and let the afternoon surprise you.
After 5 or 6 hours on the bike, it's come to the end of the day. I'm going to cycle home along the esplanade and grab a bite to eat, but hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.